Everybody, it's Kenny Tate with Monty Box Realtors. We are picking up our video blog series on what we call our buyer seminar. Hopefully you caught the first couple. If you didn't, I apologize, and maybe you can go back and look at them. Today we're going to assume that you've already seen the video about getting pre-qualified and about choosing the type of financing that you're going to go out and get, so that you kind of have an idea of what you can spend and where you're at in budget. I'm going to just talk about some simple things today that really help me out as a realtor and will help any other agent that you're working with out, and will also save you some aggravation. First and foremost, one of the things you need to do is set realistic expectations, because that is probably the #1 problem we have with new buyers going into the marketplace. You've heard, gosh, it's a buyer's market and sellers have got to take these huge discounts. Some of that is true in certain instances, but anything the media reports to you, you kind of have to take with a grain of salt. And you've got Uncle Joe out there who found the most screaming deal in the world on a piece of property, and you can match that, and so on and so forth. So we have to set some realistic expectations. You're not going to buy 10 acres with 2 ponds and a great horse barn and a 2,500 square foot house with nothing but granted anywhere for $85,000. If you do, there's probably something somewhere wrong with it. It's built over an ancient burial ground or something like that. So set some realistic expectations. Sit down and have a thoughtful discussion with your spouse, or if you're a single person buying, think about what's really important to you. And for example, I have people who say, oh gosh, I just love older homes. You know, we love that Cherry Street area in Tulsa, or somewhere over in Sepulpa, or somewhere over in Sand Springs. Those Craftsman bungalows are just so charming. You are absolutely correct. I love older houses, and in fact my very first house that I purchased for myself was built in 1919. But if you're not a handyman and you don't want to work on your home a lot, that may or may not be the home for you. If you've got a super busy schedule, you're never home, but very rarely, new construction might be the way to go for you. So sit down and really think about what you're after. The second big thing is, when do you want to move? The internet is a great tool for home buyers or consumers of any kind, great for realtors too. One thing that it does, though, is it kind of gets you as a potential home buyer in the market maybe just a little bit earlier than possibly you need to. I'm advocating that you go out and do lots of good research so you kind of know things about the market. But if you're not moving until after school's out, and today is January the 5th, you don't need to be out looking at houses today. The actual days on market last year in the Tulsa area for the properties that sold, which means basically the good ones, the ones that are priced well, show well, and desirable locations, average days on the market last year was 56 days. So it's January, 56 days from today, February, March. So if you're not moving till June, don't get out there, fall in love with something that you can't buy, aren't ready to make an offer on, because most likely if it was well priced and attractive in a good location, it's going to be gone. So keep that in mind. Very important to know when you're moving. A lot of times people will tell me, gosh, I'm not in a hurry. Well, I don't know what that means, so explain that to me, because what's not in a hurry for you can certainly be very different for the next person. So let's keep that in mind. And number 3 today, I'm going to try to kind of keep this short. Absolutely do a bunch of internet research. It's a tool that's great. It's available to you. My website, you can set up property searches and get email alerts as to new things that are coming on the market. Do a lot of research, but don't take anything out there as just absolutely gospel. I have a lot of people that come to me. Zillow.com is a great website. But keep in mind, when Zillow gives you a zestimate of value, they're never inside the property that they're doing. They're just aggregating a bunch of information from courthouse records and giving you a good general range of where that property might fall in. So please don't take anything out there that anybody tells you absolutely to heart. Even me. I think I'm giving you good information, but I don't mind you getting information from other sources. I just want you to be able to thoughtfully put all those things together to help you make a decision. And last but not least, don't think you have to look at every home on the market. I have a lot of times, especially with new buyers, where they feel like, oh gosh, we can't make a decision or we can't make an offer on this property because we haven't seen enough. And I'm certainly not advocating, hey, the very first property that we go out and see, you're gonna land on. But what I will tell you is, if you've done your homework, you've done a lot of research, you've eliminated a lot of properties that you don't want to see, there probably aren't going to be 15 to 30 houses that you need to go out there and look at. You're going to know when you walk in. Buying a home is an emotional decision that's backed up by logic. So trust your own instincts when you find one that you really, really like. Let us, as realtors, guide you through what is going to come next and what to expect in the process. But be ready to make your own decision. Follow your heart when it comes to buying your house.